Okay, I'm back. My wife had to answer her phone, and if you hear this noise in the background, it's hot in here. I've got my fan going. Okay, so we're at a point where I need to stop and back it out and clean the threads because the chips add up after a while, and you can break the tap just doing that. So, Scotty, take that. Get all this in there. Got it? Mm-hmm. Okay, so now I have to clean it, take out what I've got about halfway through for this, something this small. Sometimes if it's big, like working on the frame of your Jeep or something, it can take 4 or 5 times where you have to take it out and clean it. I've got all the crap out of the threads, out of the flutes, I mean. I'm gonna run this through here, pipe cleaner. There, did you see all that crud come out? That's all metal flakes that are now threads. So I'll put a little bit in this flute, put it back in. Once the threads are cut, they're cut. You don't have to be real careful. It's just like putting a regular screw in, and there I've stopped. That's where it is. A little bit more oil. And here we go. See if I can get this done in a reasonable amount of time, because this is going to be a mighty boring video otherwise. So this is going pretty well. I'm actually able to go, well, now it's real tight. Look at this and see if these threads start to flex in a spiral. They are a little bit. I need to go back. There we go. Yeah, there's a chunk. There we go. That's broken free. Sometimes you'll get a chip wedged in there and you're cutting threads and it binds up so badly that you can't undo it. And then you sit there and scratch your head and go, well, how do I get this out without breaking it? And then eventually it comes down to this. You have to try. You either break it or you don't. This is a real simple operation, but to do it without problems is a real art. There's a real touch to doing this and using the tap wrench. And if you don't do it right, you'll probably do it good enough. But that first time that you don't pay attention and you snap the tap off, you just kick yourself and cuss and whine and cry. And that's usually the end of the day if you're doing it as a hobbyist like I am. It's like, okay, I'm done for the day, and I go watch TV or YouTube videos like this. This is going pretty well, though. I think it needs another dot of oil. All right, let's check. Look at all that. Focus on that. You see it? That's all metal. That's what's coming out of here. Okay. Oh, the chip is, yeah, there's one way back here. Okay. You don't apply any pressure down. You don't pull up. See, if you pull up, my wrench was loose. That's always a pain in the ass. There we go. If you twist it back and forth enough, this particular brand of wrench allows the tap to become loose. That's because I got cheap shit here. I don't have the nice stuff, but it works. Cheap does not mean bad. All right. Still not feeling it come through yet. It's almost there. Come out. Oh, that's tight. Yep, there's a chip in there. Okay. And this handle keeps coming loose. Okay. Come on. Isn't this exciting? You think watching paint dry or watching grass grow is exciting? Watching someone tap threads, that is exciting. Let me tell you. That's better than the ABC Saturday Night Movie. Who's old enough to remember those? Okay. I feel the tip. Look at all that. So I am now into the very tip where the threads are almost non-existent. And it's poking through. Come on, baby. The further you go in, the more chips and crap are cut in these flutes, these hollowed out sections, and the more that binds. That's why you have to, as you go along, you have to take it out and clean it. I'm almost at the end though, so I'm being lazy. Do I risk it and keep going? No, that's starting to get a little scary. So I'm going to take it out and clean it again. I didn't think I'd have to do that. All right, let's see the metal smegma come out. Whoa, look at that. Looks like one of those tacky aluminum Christmas trees from the late 60s. Ugh. Gross. Let's clean this. All right, put it in. I'll oil it when it bottoms out. Show my face. Look at my lovely glasses. Aren't those sexy? Boy, these will keep the girls away. Okay. Back on the task here, Scotty? Okay. It's getting stiff. It's sticking out though. It's coming out the other end. So I got to go another 5 or 6 full turns, I think, to get it all the way into the full-size threads. Oh, it's flexing. Oh dear. Oh dear. Don't break. Isn't this exciting? Oh my God, you could watch me cry with my heart crushed. Oh. Come on. There we go. Got that. If you see some guy doing stuff at home and it screws together, they did this. If you see an industrial product that has this, machines do it with, instead of cut threads, they're pressed in. A tap goes through that's extremely expensive and hard, and it runs through at a real high speed and squashes the threads. And in the process, that gives it kind of it gets very hot, and it gives it kind of a hardening, a heat treatment. So the threads are really good. Just cutting them out like this at home gives you good threads, but they're not heat treated. They're a little jagged. They're just not super nice like you would get on something from a factory. But this is good enough. The trick is making sure everything is straight. I'm almost at the end because there's a bunch of crap falling out of my leg, so a lot of metal is coming out. Yep, I'm almost done. Almost. Don't hang up yet. Don't click the off button yet. Keep watching. You went this far watching something this lame and this boring. Either you have nothing to do or you're interested in it, or both. I should be like Netflix and go, are you still there? Are you still watching? Almost. It's, yeah, a little bit more. Okay, now I can twist it. See, it's through. I'm up through the full-size threads. So I've succeeded in tapping this hole. The next thing I'm going to do is unsolder these two things, clean them up, and then I'm going to place the plate back up on my drill press over there and use the bigger drill bit and waddle out these holes until I have my clearance holes. Then the screw can go through without threading in this, but thread into the bottom piece, which is what you want. You don't want them together, both threaded, because if you don't line them up absolutely perfect, the screw won't go through. So that's a bad thing. You want the screw to be able to go all the way through and clamp the pieces together. So, here we go. Come on, any day now, any day. Okay, now I got to file the ends and clean out the threads a little bit. Got my saxophone tone hole file here. It leaves a little, I don't know if you can see this or not, it's a little sharp edge. That's good. Let's see what I got. Whoops. That's the first hole. No, that's the hole I just did. So we got both of our holes. The goal was to have the screw heads be the same distance from this edge and the same distances from this edge. So that's, you got to mark, center punch, and then drill the holes on those. And they're not where I wanted them. I want bigger screws, but the bigger the screw, the bigger the head, and I only have so much room. So this was a compromise. The heads are bigger than the other ones. That provides more clamping force. The screw head is what clamps them together. And this is just finger tight, but you can see this? They're pretty well centered, 2 millimeters from the edge on both sides. These screw holes are a little too close to this edge for my taste, but I mismeasured it and it's a millimeter off. So tough toenails for me. I didn't get it right, but I got it real close. So this will go together the opposite way. Oh boy, this is taking a long time. Let's just get that puppy out of there. And again, this is a replacement and an improvement for this real skinny one right here. You see that's just not very good. The screws were too small, not very much clamping force. Couldn't clamp them down without worrying about shearing off the heads. So this is going to be nice and stout. And again, this is backwards. It'll be oriented like this with this on the bottom. So they're basically the same thing. Same thing locking into that tube. So that's how you do it. Again, this is a tap. You can see the metal bits in the flute. The things are the same thread. I don't know if you can see that either. But they fit perfectly. It's because this is a tapered version of this with extremely hard, sharp cutting edges. And then you got just your regular old bolt. So that's it. Let me have it. Thank you for watching. And guess I'll be talking to you again later. Bye.